Hi, come on in. It's Miss Sadie. Welcome to the Fun Factory, Early Childhood Education. And of course, the first thing I'm doing is getting my music ready. I think it's ready to go, just for background. And today we're going to talk all about books, again and again and again. These are books that hopefully you're going to read to your children. And for older brothers and sisters out there, I've got a book that I want to read to you so that if you read it to your younger sibling, they'll probably get a better understanding of kind of like where they fit in the family structure, because sometimes, they talk about the middle child. If a family has 3 children, you have the oldest, then you have the next, then you have the baby. And the one in the middle, they always seem to talk about, I'll put it that way, in whatever way they want to describe the middle child. We don't hear about we hear about the firstborn, but usually the baby, and then there's some type of expression that people use when they're talking about the middle child, okay? But at any rate, my book isn't about the middle child. It's about, I think, Big Sis. I've got so many, here it is, Small Sister. So many books here that I want to share with you. And we can talk about how you can read them to your children, how older siblings can read as well to the younger brother and sister. And right before I sign off, I'm going to let you know, if you choose to subscribe to the Patreon channel, Fun Factory, Early Childhood Education for Young Children, I'm going to show you how you can do it once you go to the platform. I keep saying the channel, but it's a platform, okay? So, I'm talking about siblings, brothers and sisters. Why don't I start off with this one? And like I've said before, I know when you view it, it's backwards, but I can see it, in its proper place. It's called Small Sister by Jessica Meserve. And remember, I always state that you need to read the story first, so there are no surprises. Make sure all the pages are in, and make sure that it's an appropriate story for whomever you're going to read it to, okay? Small and big are sisters, but big can jump higher, big can run faster, and big will always be bigger. Small feels out of step. She feels she's in her sister's shadow until she discovers there are some things big can't do, but small can. In her debut as an author and illustrator, Jessica Meserve has created a charming story that shows how big things can come in even the smallest packages. Now, I read that part. That's not for you to read, to your sibling, but this is just for whomever's going to be reading the story. Yeah. Uh-oh. There's a tree. Uh-oh. Squirrel? I think so. Small had a problem. She was stuck in Big's shadow. This is the name that the author has given them, Small and Big. So she's saying that Small had a problem, that she was stuck in Big's shadow. Small doesn't look very happy there. Small tried to jump higher, but Big was bouncier. Small tried to escape, but Big was faster. See the pictures? We always show the pictures. And the child, whomever you're reading to, they look at the pictures too. And believe it or not, you're reading, but they're interpreting them. Maybe a little different than what's on the page. And Big always got the best presents. Sometimes Big tried to scare Small. Okay? Big trying to scare Little. One day, Big made Small very angry. She looks like she's angry to me. Looks like she was having gingerbread and maybe some milk. So Small did something very mean. Big's parrot flew away. Oh, look what Small did. That was Big's parrot. She opened the cage and let him out. And he flew away. Oh my goodness. But when Big found out, Small felt even smaller. I wonder why she felt smaller. I think because she knows that she shouldn't have done that was wrong. Anyway, The next day, Small decided to leave. She decided nobody noticed. Small was leaving? Small was free. She tried to feel happy, but she was too lonely. She's out there all by herself. High in the tree, Small saw Big's parrot. Low on the ground, Small saw Big. Big was too scared to climb the tree, but Small wasn't. Wow. Small felt brave. There's the parrot. What do you think's going to happen? Small felt really big. Small felt very, very happy. Oh, look at her sister. And best of all, Small was no longer stuck in Big's shadow. Look at that. Okay. They're playing together. Yes. Even though she was wrong to let the parrot out, but still, she felt big enough to go up the tree and get the parrot for her big sister. Okay? So, it's just a interesting story, I'll say. Some music in the background. Now, there are also stories that are counting. I call this counting. It's a story. The kids love it. 10 Little Ladybugs. It's a rhyming story, but everybody knows, they like counting and seeing the ladybugs. 10 little ladybugs sitting on a vine. Along came a butterfly. There's your butterfly. And then there were 9. 9 little ladybugs skipping on the gate. Along came a caterpillar. Then there were 8. There's that number 8. 8 little ladybugs looking up at heaven. Along came a bird. Here's the bird. And then there were 7. 7 little ladybugs resting on sticks. Along came a grasshopper. Woo. And then there were, notice by heart, 6. 6 little ladybugs flying near a hive. Along came a bumblebee. And then there were 5. Here's the 5. 5 little ladybugs sleeping by the shore. Along came a fish. Glub, glub, glub. And then there were 4. 4 little ladybugs climbing up a tree. Along came a turtle. And then there were 3. 3 little ladybugs drinking up dew. Along came a duck. Quack, quack. Then there were 2. 2 little ladybugs basking in the sun. Along came a frog. Then there was 1. 1 little ladybug sitting all alone. Along came a breeze. And then she was home. Look at that. That's another add-on, I think, for very young children. Colors. If you're choosing a book that has a lot of colors in it, some animation, they'll love that too. And also for the very young, I have a pop-up book. Yeah. The Movable Mother Goose. Pop-up. So when you open it, this is Little Bo Peep has lost her sheep. Can't tell where to find them. Leave them alone, but they'll come home, wagging their tails behind them. You turn this page, there's Jack and Jill. Turn the next page. Wow. Wow. I'm going to have to read this one. Gregory Griggs. I never read that one before. And look at this one. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. I think that one is up here. Yeah. Jack jumps over the candlestick. So these pop up, especially the infants. They really love it when they see you turn the page and something comes up. I don't have any, and I need it because I don't have my fan on, and I'm sweating, but it's okay. I'll manage. And again, when I say for the older children, what's going to be your most important book? Dictionary. I say that to the parents, grandparents, and older siblings. You're going to need a dictionary if you're reading to older children. And if they're doing work, and it may even be beyond, I don't know, preschool. It could be, or not, but you're going to need a dictionary. Remember the two rules: no Google and no drilling. It won't work. Now, I have another book. It's called Big Book of My World. And this has to do with any and everything that's going on in a child's world. Wow, look at that. It also has shapes in it. Remember I talked about colors? Things, oh wow, that bring their attention to the story? Rainbow, there's Mr. Sun. Oh wow. Different animals, parts of your body, cities and towns. All stories, books you can look at together, and then you can talk about. This is toys. Which toys do you play with the most? Oh, this is one of my favorite. My first 100 words in Spanish. Yes, in Espanol. Now, this doesn't say Sadie Love. It says Joyce Washington. She's a colleague of mine. She and I used to work together with Head Start, and we used to team teach. Her room was right next to mine, and we would team teach together. So she put her name in this particular book because there was 2 or 3 of them. I guess she must have mine. My first 100 words in Spanish. Nursery rhymes, which I am definitely in favor of. And this one is on the night you were born. Oh, this is a beautiful story about the night you were born. Just Cat in the Hat. This one has a cassette. And I have a cassette player. I also have the cassette that goes with it. But what I'm trying to do is find stories that are on CDs. Because I think I'm probably the only one who still has a cassette player with these stories on it. That's simply because, they go out of style. Cat in the Hat, all of the stories by Dr. Seuss. There's a Rocket in My Pocket, Green Eggs and Ham, Wacky Wednesday, just so many. Now, this particular book I bought for myself. I do buy books for me. I have books that I call classics that are for adult reading. And I don't intermingle them with my children's books. But this one, it says Chess for Kids. Well, I don't know how to play chess. I never learned. I don't know how to play checkers or dominoes. But I saw this book. I said, even though I may never get to play chess, at least I can understand the game. So I haven't read it yet. But when I get time, I'm going to read this. I can understand it, even though it says Chess for Kids. Okay, I've seen people play chess, and have tournaments and so forth. I didn't understand the thing that was going on. But I watched it. Yo, Yes, by Chris Rushton. You know what? Hold on a sec. I'm going to come right back to this. I'm going to put the music on, and I'm going to have to scooch. Right over here, I see my tissues over there. I'm going to have to scooch and get my tissues because I'm really sweaty. I took my fan and put it in storage. I didn't think I would need it anymore. I do. Right back. Hold on. Keep trying to get up. Oh, craps. It's further away than I thought. I'm here. Don't go nowhere. Oh, that's better. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Yeah, I'm back. I'm comfortable. Okay. Other areas of interest to get children interested in your stories, in books. Puppets! I think I mentioned this on one of my other videos. Yeah, you can bring puppets along. You can start with puppets. You can talk to your puppets. Looks like a police officer. Yeah, okay. And this one? Doctor? Okay. Be a doctor. Talk to them about what happens when they go to see the doctor. All right? And you can just ease this into a story that you may have or that you want to read to them. This is a favorite. It's called Yo, Yes. Yo, Yes, by Chris Rashka. Oftentimes, an author will dedicate their book to certain people, and this one says for my parents. That part you don't have to read to the child, but shows how very, very important parents are to young children, especially in their growth and development around their schoolwork. He's like, yo, and he's, yes, hey. I think this guy is calling this guy. He says, who? Then he points to him, you. Then he points to himself, me? Yes, you. This guy, oh. What's up? He's like, not much. Why? No fun. I'm not having any fun. Oh, he's looking sad. He says, no friends. Oh, yes. And then he's like, look. Pointing to himself, me. This guy, you? Yes, me. He doesn't believe it. You? Well, looks like he's thinking it over. Well, he's got a question mark. Yes! And then, yo! Yes! Yow! Short, to the point, but actually the pictures say it all. And that's okay. Hold up. Excuse, please. Come on. Wipe the sweat off my brow, as they say. Now, we talked about, I think, on one of my videos about poems. And the reason I have these papers in here is simply because these are poems that I choose to read to my students. I do poetry right along with regular stories, because I did mention that poems do tell a story, but they tell them in a more rhythmic type of way. Okay? This is by Shel Silverstein. I have quite a few. This is called A Light in the Attic. All right? Got to do poetry. Very important. Now, I do remember, oh gosh, when I first started, back in the 80s and 90s, what I like to refer to as the last century, books by Eric Carle, very, very popular with young children. Baby bear, what do you see? Here's another. Polar bear, what do you hear? You hear something rhyming in his ear. A lot of it I still remember. Remember this last video? Knock, knock. Has something hard. About the knock, knock jokes. Oh, I love this. I think I started I think I started at the beginning. I didn't go all the way through. I'm sorry. You can't appreciate it if you can't see it and know what he's talking about. I don't have anything hard. I'm going to save this for another time. I'm looking at some games. Hold on. That I had. Spelling. Once children are familiar with the alphabet, and you bring this game out, it's they see the pictures and then they need to put the words together, like cow and cake. Here's another one where you're building words. I find a lot of these games in the thrift stores. I don't buy them brand new because I still have so many left over from my classroom. Here's Peter, the cruise ship. Okay? Yeah. I remember cruising. It's great. Look at all these different boats and ships. You can talk about what kind they are. You know, there's always room to expand on whatever story you're reading to your children, and just add to it. But please remember to read the story first. Case in point, I've got something to share. Where is it? I put it right here so that it would be up front, and it was called. Oh my goodness! Here it is. Blast Off. Fisher Price book. Okay. Guess what? It says A Little People's Book. It's all about space. Here we go. Come and count with us to the moon. We will be leaving very soon. That's the spaceship. Here we are. One speeding shuttle blasting into space. Two smiling astronauts, each in his place. Three wide windows from which they can see. On the next page, it should be number 4, and then the page after that, it should be number 5. They're missing. This jumps right to 6 blue knobs to guide them on their flight. That's what I mean about reading the book ahead of time. I picked this up. I said, okay, I'm going to share this with my audience. Did not know pages were missing, so then I had to put it to the side. But I used that as an example just to show you. You need to read it first ahead of time. Well, it looks like I'm winding down on 20 minutes, and I didn't want it to be any longer than that. But here's another book, Fisher Price, Counting Rhymes. And trust me, this one has, I looked at this. This has all of the pages in it. There we go again with the animals. Okay. Let me see. Here's the one that has about dinosaurs. How the dinosaurs get well soon. I got How the Dinosaurs Say Goodnight. Here's another one that I purchased for myself. Ready, Set, Preschool. It says an educational guide for parents. Okay, so I'm going to read through this, learn as much as I can from it, and share it with my parents or people who are on Patreon. Perhaps they're not parents, but maybe they're coaches, preschool teachers, anyone that interacts with very young children and can help support them in their learning process. Hold on. Sweating bullets here. Now, I said all that to say how you can subscribe, become a patron on my Patreon platform. And I was on my platform doing some videos, and I said I'm going to share how to my audience how they can subscribe, how they can become a patron. And this is how it works, and you can get started in just 2 minutes. When you go to my Patreon site, it will tell you on there how you do that. All it is, everybody knows that it's just more or less clicking onto the site. You choose a membership, sign up, and then you add a payment method. And once you add a payment method, and this is how you pledge. You pledge through Visa, PayPal, American Express, or Discover. And your payment arrangements are secure. You know, I have a few friends that have already pledged, and there's no issue with payment, that kind of thing. Nobody gets your numbers or your code or anything of that nature. So that's how you get started. Like I said, you choose a membership, you sign up, and then you add a payment method. After that, at the $5 level, you are what is called an official patron. Well, everybody's an official patron if you're on. At the $10 level, you're an all access patron, and at the VIP level, you are at the $20 level, you're what they call a VIP patron. And I know generally everybody knows VIP stands for very important people. Well, to me, everyone is important. So I changed that and I call it very interested parents. Okay? So there's $5 per month pledge, There's a $10 per month pledge, and there's a $20 per month pledge. And it'll say that, and it'll list down the bottom what it is that you get as far as engagement, behind the scenes videos, and the books. But even though the books aren't listed at the $20 tier, but they are. That's the goal, is to have children start their own in-home library. It's just going to increase their knowledge base just tremendously. And our part comes in is where we help and support them in their reading. And I don't understand why it's been said that children need to be able to read by fourth grade. By fourth grade, they're what, 8 or 9 years old? Um, I worked in an excellent school when I lived in King of Prussia, and the children were read to 3 times throughout the day. And before they entered kindergarten, the children were reading. Before they entered kindergarten, they were reading. Yes, our children are that bright. It can be done, but it's commitment. And that's the thing. You have to commit to it. You can't do it Monday and Tuesday. By Wednesday, I don't feel like it. You have to commit on a daily basis. Just as children go to school and you go to work maybe 5 days a week, you can have a weekend off. But learning doesn't stop. It doesn't go on pause because it's Saturday and Sunday. But you need to commit, and you need to commit to every day. You can start off small, reading before bedtime. After that, you can build. You can read when they get in from school. Perhaps if parents aren't home, the older siblings can do it. And then again at bedtime. And there's nothing wrong in the morning. Turn off the news other than traffic and the weather, and do what they call a 5 minutes. I've got lots of those, a 5 minute story. This is how you build reading comprehension, how you get children to develop a love of reading. It's like anything else when you do it consistently, okay? And when you do it with not as though it's drudge, but when you do it because you're committed to doing it, because you want to do it, and you're doing it to support them. So that's what we're going to be doing, and hopefully you will subscribe and pledge to help us to help our children, okay? And in the meantime, I'll see you in the classroom. Here's my mouse. Okay.